I want to take up two rules in particular. And first, I want to say thank you for allowing me to testify today, for giving all of us as members a chance to offer our suggestions on the rules. I come to address an issue that's critical to our ability as members of Congress to fulfill our legislative and oversight responsibilities effectively, ensuring members of Congress who have national security duties are provided staff who can support them in their work. As someone who's a senior member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, I've served since I came in January of 2013, and also the Intelligence Committee. I've been there between 8 and 8.5 years. I know that staff's access to classified material is not just a convenience, it's essential. It enables our staff to support us as we review legislation, meet our oversight responsibilities, receive detailed briefings from executive branch officials, and visit various facilities like military bases in our district. Currently, members may designate up to 2 personal office staff as eligible for top secret security clearances, following a background investigation. While a top secret clearance is helpful, it's insufficient for the needs of modern-day oversight over national security agencies. These staff members remain ineligible for access to sensitive compartmented information, or what's known as SCI, which limits their effectiveness in assisting us with our national security responsibilities. The limitation on SCI access is increasingly challenging. As you know, information designated as SCI typically means that it relates to sensitive intelligence sources, methods, or analytical processes. Over the past several decades, the executive branch has overseen an unprecedented expansion in the volume of SCI content and classified information. We also see the phenomenon of quote-unquote overclassification, where agencies assign higher classification levels than required. In the words of the Director of National Intelligence, or DNI, quote, overclassification undermines critical democratic objectives, such as increasing transparency to promote an informed citizenry and greater accountability. This, combined with the fact that hundreds of thousands or thousands of executive branch employees hold TS/SCI clearances, means that a standard top secret clearance no longer lives up to its name. 3 years ago, the United States Senate recognized the same problem and made a change. Today, senators can designate a member of their personal office, a member of their staff, to hold a top secret/SCI clearance. In the House, access to such information is restricted to a handful of leadership and committee staff. So, just to give the concrete example of what's going on, the members that sit on the committee are not allowed to have any staff member from their staff, their personal office, join them at any of the meetings in the SCIF, which undermines our ability to do our work. When a senator visits a sensitive facility on a military base in their state or attends a classified briefing here in Washington, they can bring a member of their staff to assist in their duties. When a member of the House of Representatives does the same, we cannot. To emphasize, the House of Representatives is at a disadvantage in comparison to the Senate when it comes to conducting oversight over U.S. national security. To address these challenges, the House of Representatives should request that the House direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to update the House Security Manual to better reflect the realities of today's national security environment and allow at least 1 personal office staff member as eligible for a top secret SCI clearance, contingent on a favorable background check investigation, just as the Senate has already done. So again, the United States Senate made this change 2 years ago. I want to emphasize that this would be a narrow change consistent with current practice. Staff would still not gain access to classified information unless they demonstrate a need to know. In fact, even within the committee staff, there are times when compartmented information is being discussed that some committee staff will be in the room and others will not. It would not, on its own, grant classified network access or permit the storage or transmission of classified information, except where explicitly authorized by the House or relevant committees. In addition, the adjudication process is the same for a top secret and top secret SCI clearance, so the overall volume of requests would not increase and there wouldn't be any additional costs. If a cleared individual divulges classified information without authorization, because I know that leaks are a concern, they would be subject to criminal prosecution as currently law and House policy provides. In closing, members of Congress have a solemn duty to provide for the common defense and to conduct effective oversight of the executive branch. But to do so, we need appropriately cleared staff to support our efforts. If not, the way it currently exists, I believe that there is a handicap for House members that the Senate no longer has. The current policies encumber our ability to fulfill these responsibilities, and in some cases, they render it nearly impossible. The second issue I'd like to take up is one that we all deal with and all face in our own districts and our own work, and that would be to allow volunteers to support congressional events. It's the second issue I raised today concerns a policy regarding volunteers and the application of the House gift rule. As members of Congress, one of our core responsibilities is to support the needs of the communities that we represent, including through town halls where we solicit input from constituents and events where we advertise federal resources to our constituents. These events take time and money and the hard work of staff to organize successfully, and they're necessary to ensure that members of Congress continue to serve our communities. One constraint that members face in organizing such events is in our ability to work with volunteers that may want to help as such and support these efforts. And this again runs afoul of the House gift rule, so that work, that volunteerism, can't be accepted. I request that this committee consider a change in the gift rule or revise the application and guidelines of that rule to allow for limited support from volunteers for congressional offices, particularly in the district. The kind of support I'm envisioning includes helping check-in guests or helping an event be set up or pulled down. To prevent abuse, any such change would need to have limits, of course. That could include prohibiting any such support from lobbyists and corporations or requiring a process to notify the Commission on Ethics of any instances where volunteers may be used at a particular event. This change, while minor, I think could significantly improve the ability of members of Congress and our offices to serve our constituents and to do our work. Thank you so much for your time and consideration on these rules, and I look forward to your questions if you have any.